Welcome to Tech Talk with R&E Automated. I'm your host, Jordan Dieterle. Join us as we dive into the world of automation and manufacturing, bringing you expert insights from industrial professionals and business leaders. Whether you're a business owner, engineer, or simply passionate about technology, this podcast is your go-to source for the latest trends and innovations in the field. Welcome, everybody, to Tech Talk with R&E Automated. I'm Jordan Dieterle. I'll be your host. Today, I have Prelo Hood with me today. Hey, Prelo.
Good morning, Jordan.
So Prelo, how's everything going? And I wanted to kind of connect with you on your development of the BuzzBox. But before we do that, I'd like to learn, give the audience a background or your backstory of, how you came into developing the BuzzBox and building out, this company that we'll kind of get into as we go through this podcast.
Okay, just give you a bit of my background because sort of a long story that leads up to the company that we formed here in South Carolina, the MacB IT solution, and the service that we're bringing to the U.S. So I started out, I was born and raised here in South Carolina. Went to Greenville Tech and then UNC Charlotte, and worked for Milliken & Company for 19 years before I decided to move north. And
oh man, you picked the wrong choice to move north.
Well, no, I always tell folks, and I consider myself a son of Milliken & Company. I say every good son needs to know when to leave home. And it was time for me to make a change. So moved, and I was in manufacturing, actually, not in product development or not trying to start various businesses, but moved north and joined a small company, about 230 million in sales, but making private label brand assorbent products, personal care assorbent products.
Okay.
But on the manufacturing side, not on the product development side. But things change, and in that case, it changed quite quickly, and the owner sold out to a large company that was buying small companies that made private label brand or assorted products, and stayed there. But I moved into product development and found life much easier, much more relaxed, developing products and managing processes more than managing people. So
yes, I definitely know that feeling. Is say with manufacturing side, it's always, there's always something to say with managing people, whether they say you're not going to or not, you're still managing people.
You're still managing people. But I started in product development, and then as a part of the process of learning product development and being ranked and rated for your performance, I became a registered patent agent, so I could practice before the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. And then my boss decided to send me to law school, but I'm really not the lawyer type. But I did go for 1 year. And that's where I met my dotted line boss, which was located in Switzerland. And that leads to a couple of startups in the Middle East. So I moved to the Middle East.
Oh wow! So you kind of got you went from south to north to Middle East.
To the Middle East, just north of Dubai. In the Emirate of Ras Al Khaimah. So, me and some partners developed a product that we launched, a whole new business under the sponsorship of the Emirate of Ras Al Khaimah. And that's where I met my current business partner. Well, I actually met his brother who introduced me to him just as I was getting ready to move back after 5 years in the Middle East, move back to the United States. And we
That was
started
probably an interesting 5 years to say trying to build a
one,
business.
build,
Yeah, it's different, right? To say, I mean,
build business
it's
and
it
new culture,
yeah,
a different environment, learning some of the language. The
mhm,
cultural norms are different, and relating to many nationalities.
yeah,
In the United Arab Emirates, there's 80%, around 80% of the population are expats. So,
okay,
so you get many countries, many languages, many cultural norms. So learn to deal with all that as the vice president of operations and engineering. So
gotcha.
that's what because I had the manufacturing background and the
Yep,
development background. Went and for new startup, you got to be mean, lean, and mean,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Me-
Always, they
and
say
many
that's
different
pretty
hats.
normal in manufacturing.
Manufacturing, product development, and engineering. That was my role um, in the new startup. So we did that startup, and then one of my suppliers asked me. He said, "What are you going to do when you move back to the U.S.?" I said, "I have no." That was after 3 years. I said, "I don't know." He said, "Well, how about starting up another operation, that manufacturing operation for my company, making one of the components that we used in the product that we were making." So I did that over the next 2 years, and then that's two years plus the 3 years, two
Mhm.
startups, uh, and then I met my partner who were who was working on IT related telecommunications and IT related
Yeah.
ventures. So we started this. We actually filed a patent for our unique method and the device for connecting people easily.
Mhm.
Communication,
Yeah. So,
communication.
and and that's considered just so our audience knows, that's considered the Buzz Box is what
Yeah.
you're
And
is what it's called.
the BuzzBox is actually an implementation of the patent, but
Okay.
not the patent itself. So the BuzzBox may be considered as the next round or an improvement. And the improvement was to make this technology affordable to small users. So when
Yep.
we first launched, it was the big user, big customers who had lots of calls coming in and not being able
Mhm.
to answer those calls, or landing on a particular link or site to do something else. So
Mhm.
the technology is the easy to connect, but we
Yeah.
easy to connect to address in the U.S. the problem of unanswered calls, and to make it
Gotcha.
affordable, we developed the BuzzBox.
Okay.
So,
So basically you're what you're explaining is you developed the Buzz Box to make it affordable for individuals or companies to connect if they miss calls, let's say like call centers, let's say
mm,
Airbnb, let's say could be, let's say anything that would turn into an opportunity to basically notify them or
mm,
communicate. Hey, you've missed an important call, and
mm,
actually notify the other person as well. Hey, I will get back to you
right,
at this time, or they say as soon as possible.
yeah.
Basically, it's kind of how it works.
So what the BuzzBox does, and again, is that make the connection seamless and painless.
Hmm.
No more call menus and choose this and choose that. It simply
Yep.
grabs the call, identifies the calling party so you can respond, and sends a text message.
Gotcha.
And notify the owner that he received the call. So the calling party gets notified, the owner gets notified. And
Okay.
the owner or service provider, and whatever service you offering, can respond later. You don't have to set there and answer calls. Especially
Mhm.
if it's a small business or sole
Yep.
entrepreneur. He's doing the work and he's trying to answer the call and he's missing leads
Yes.
and lose.
So I know you kind of personally use this on like your Airbnb, from the conversation we've had.
I do, and I use the Airbnb as a demonstration. But what I want to do without having to sit there and answer calls or that's coming in is simply land them on a link that's
Mhm.
that instead of having to go to the Airbnb site and search, it simply lands them on and the Airbnb my Airbnb link, and
Yep.
it notified me that someone inquired, so I can call them
Okay.
back directly or since they landed them on the link, they can search
Okay.
and book. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
very
So you're almost it's almost like you're generating more sales for yourself as well.
at the same time is trying to launch this and we call our service just one buzz because
Yeah.
with a simple call you're connected.
Yep.
Um, but I'm but during the demonstrations, of course, I'm generating sales for my Airbnb.
Yeah. Yep.
Mhm,
Makes
mhm,
sense.
mhm.
Makes sense.
So
So, um, like, walk us through the design and development process of, getting to this and getting to the development of the BuzzBox. Like, was there unexpected challenges like through that, like developing? I mean, I've never developed a product. I mean, I've always used everybody else's, right? But it's
mm,
curious to say to learn how do you navigate those problems, right? I mean, I navigate problems on the manufacturing floor all the time, but I mean, I use resources and people all the time. So I'm curious, how did you guys develop those challenges and, fix those challenges?
well, you always start whether the you have the insight or the insight
Mm.
is presented to you by some
Yep.
customer need or research. But sometimes you have an insight of unmet need in the market. And in our case, we did have that insight, but we
Hmm.
also had a good feel for the technology to meet the need. So,
Yeah.
uh, it started with the my partner. He worked in a call center, and
Okay.
he actually one of his first jobs out of college was in a call center. And since he's an engineer with a business degree, also,
Yeah.
but first an engineer. Um, he knew how the telecommunications technology worked, and
Okay.
it was started off in India, where they didn't have smartphones, and they had this practice of um, say you left home, you were
Mhm.
just as an example. I'm a college student who don't have a lot of money
Mhm.
and don't have a smartphone. I just have a little small feature phone. I'm
Yep.
going from home back to school, and I want to ensure or to assure my parents that I reach a school safely. But
Yep.
I don't want to spend money on the call. So um, I tell them when I'm leaving, when I get to school, and this happened a lot in India and especially in the Middle East and other countries, developing countries.
Mhm.
Say, when I get to school, I'll give you a missed call, which means to them, missed call mean when I get to school, I'll call and hang up, and you'll know that it's me.
Okay.
So
That's kind of crazy, but yeah.
I'll
I mean,
call and hang up.
yeah.
So my partner was the lead inventor on this technology, and it was the concept was to um, answer a call, send the calling party a message without interacting with the call.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
without interacting with the caller, but doing so in that way, if you call if you hang up before the called party, and this is going way back in the telecommunication process, if
Yep.
you answer before the called party answers and you hang up, then there's no charge.
Yeah. Yep.
So
So I remember seeing that. I said, I think I've watched a movie on that where they do, yeah, this is
you,
Jordan and just tell him it's okay. Click.
yeah, so
And what
so
I don't I'm just making something up, but I remember seeing a movie where they don't let it go through because he didn't want to get charged.
yeah, don't let it go through. So, but we learned to do that automatically and through the process. So
Okay.
we would identify. You can identify the call number, disconnect the call. Since you got caller ID now, you know who called and send a message.
Mhm.
We do that
Yep.
automatically, and that's what the BuzzBox does. But instead of having a big server and all the equipment that you used to have to use, the BuzzBox does that. It
Yeah.
identifies the calling party,
Mhm.
disconnects the call, and send a message.
Yeah. So
And
for everybody, the buzz box is probably like about this big. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it
It's not very big. It's this
it
neat little device.
and that BuzzBox does contain all the necessary hardware and our proprietary brains and that was software firmware to do that. Uh,
Okay.
so
So
it identifies, send messages to both the calling party and the call party. And those messages can be easily customized to your particular needs.
okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Mhm.
So when you guys were developing this, like, I mean, you obviously had a prototype, and I think you said it was like it's been 2 or 3 years now. Um,
We,
was there like early versions and like failures along the way? And like,
version
did you learn
one,
quite a bit of lessons like throughout that process? I mean, obviously, developing a product
mm,
usually there's version one, version two, version
there's
three.
version
I'm
one.
assuming we're on a different version
You
now,
know,
but
probably we calling it version one, but it's probably in the process of version number four, and the
okay.
software it might be five or six. so
Okay. Okay.
so
Okay.
there's some off the shelf components. It
Mhm.
actually, in essence, it contains a communication uh, modem, small, very small one, that cellular communication modem. It contains
Mhm.
a computer in there, and the two together work together to do this process. So, but it's finding out things. We get ready to
Y
launch, and we start working with our chosen carrier, and we discovered, oh, this FCC regulations. It's got to be FCC, right? So
yeah.
we had to go through that process, which took quite a while to get it. And it is FCC certified at this moment.
Okay.
So there's when you work with carriers. When I say carriers, we talking about the guys like AT&T,
Mhm.
Verizon, T-Mobile, and a host of other ones. But the
So those carriers are very interested in, the buzz box and how
our
it's
work,
develops over time and works
mhm,
and seeing the function of the device overall,
and
I'm assuming.
where it's legal and certified
Yep.
and registered with the FCC. they
Gotcha.
they are, and they have to be careful also about various devices coming on their network. So you got to get certified with the FCC and approved by the carriers. Yeah,
Yep.
and they all work a little different. So that's the challenges you have to overcome. It's got to be
Yeah.
compatible with the various types of communication processes
Okay.
and
So
methods. Mhm.
have you had challenges in getting FCC certified and, you know, I guess with
Um,
those each one individually different and
the FCC certification was pleasantly was not that difficult because we used some previously certified FCC components, but they
okay.
were not certified to work together. So we had to go through the certification process to prove that we didn't violate any of the rules by having these components work together. So we that
Okay.
issue. Then there's all kind of frequencies out there that these devices work on.
Yeah.
Communication bands. So we had to ensure that it was on the correct bands for North America.
Mhm.
Um, then there were some other issues, some particular to the various carriers. So it's got to work. We want to make sure it's worked on. It will work on
Yeah.
AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, and anybody else in North America, and eventually uh, throughout the world. So we chose a communication mode. Ended up choosing a modem that was um, we call global.
Okay.
So, and
Gotcha.
then there's a lot of programming, more than
Yeah. Oh,
it.
I can imagine.
It looks
I'd be
easy.
saying,
It
yeah.
looks easy.
Say for it being this small, I guarantee there's a lot of programming in there
Uh,
to get
and
it to function the way you're looking.
that was another issue. We outstripped the initial device that we started with. Out,
Mhm.
outstripped the memory capacity. So,
Oh.
so now we,
Yeah.
uh, and we wanted
Yeah, you had to upgrade, they say, to version 2, right?
to upgrade. That was the first upgrade. Get one that with enough memory capacity.
Yeah.
Then, um, then
So
all the various programming that goes along with insurance.
yeah. Yo.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, like, looking back, like, what would you do differently if you were starting the BuzzBox project, like, today? Like, what would you do differently? I mean, obviously, you have the you kinda already have the knowledge. I mean, if you were gonna start it today and you're like, "Okay, I know that I need more memories, so there's a lot of programming," how would you develop that, or how would you go about it, today?
I would, I would well, I know what um, you when you write your algorithm, there's some rules to make life easier later on.
You know?
I'll follow all of those rules.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you can develop it and make it,
make it more
influence and make it easier for yourself.
and easier for the next programmer, the next developer that's going to have to maintain this later on.
Yep.
So also
Yeah.
make sure that we address FCC since it's a communication device.
Mhm.
Make sure we address those issues right up front and start that process as we develop. Uh,
Yeah. Right. Instead of developing it like, hey, let's start this right now so we can get this done, and then we're not having to backtrack to try
mm,
to as we make revisions, and we can, hey, we're starting here, but we can update it as along the way with them and make sure that they're aware, I'm assuming.
it's a documentation, good good algorithm principles,
Mhm.
and address those um, legal requirements up front.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah,
so
that makes sense. That
we,
makes sense. So that would be like an advice you would give to like, innovators or like somebody that's coming up with an idea or a concept to market. I mean,
mhm,
obviously in the manufacturing space, documentation is always key. It's like document, document, document. Other than it's like usually safety, document, and
mm,
try to innovate. So, I mean, if you don't have documents, it's really hard to do a lot of things
yes.
or upgrade to the
Mhm.
next step. So I would say that is that definitely advice that you would say to, people that are trying to bring something to the market is, documentation and start from start from where you need to be in the market that you're pursuing. I guess to say like, with like the legal side, like the FCC and stuff, what would you call that? Like certifications, I guess.
Yeah, certification regulations that
There you go.
in communications
I couldn't come up with a word.
regulation. Uh,
Yeah, there we go.
now that as the political environment changes, if you can design it to be manufactured in the U.S.,
Mhm.
you're located in the U.S. then do that. Now,
Yeah.
sometime that we started and we actually manufacture right now our device in China. So
Okay.
you can imagine what issues we're having now
Yeah. Oh yeah.
with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see that. They say with the
So all
tariffs
these
and everything.
the it's the tariff is the tariff. So
Yeah.
we went from it really upped our cost and it's tariff related. Now,
Yo.
if we could have designed more broadly, then it would have made it easier to migrate it to some different hardware. But as you can imagine, um, the hardware
It's
has specific programming requirements that you know
yo.
how to do, but you got to do it all over again or something.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yo.
It's
Yeah. So
like
it's kind of it's almost like an upgrading or evolving,
Mhm.
and I'm assuming that that's kind of like, hey, maybe in the next, you know, 5 years, is say we'll try to evolve in that space, or say upgrade to, hey, can we manufacture here in the U.S.
And
Is say if needed.
some of it is synonymous to, if you got a um, Apple operating system,
Mm-hmm.
it can do the same thing as a Microsoft operating system, but they do it in a different way.
Yo.
And if they, if yours specifically to operate on one or the other, and there's problems with the one, then you got a lot of work to go to the other.
Yo. Yo.
That
Makes sense.
that's
Makes
sort
sense.
of that's sort of a scenario is
Yeah.
going on too. So we
Yeah.
we got a lot of work to do to migrate it to U.S. made components.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Gotcha. No, that makes so total sense. Is you started here, you did revision 1, 2, 3, 4, and hey,
Mhm.
something changed in the economy. They say, well, we still have to proceed from here, but now maybe in the future we'll look at moving it over, in the next 5 to 10 years, depending on what changes in the, as the product develops more and more. They say you can continue to change, and change software programs,
Mhm.
parts, applications. They say, I mean, that's just the way that the world evolves, right? They say, but as your product develops, you'll continue to be able to, put it through a different revision, or grow the product. So makes sense.
The other thing that I think we did right was to protect it as best we could within our budget, the
Mhm.
intellectual property protection. Uh,
Yeah.
so we did that. We have trademarks, we have patents
Okay.
to protect. So
Yeah.
as you do all that other stuff, keep in mind that you don't want somebody to easily take your hard work.
Yeah. Take your idea or your hard work. I mean, yeah, that makes
Mhm.
total sense. I mean, if you're putting in the work to develop something, I wouldn't want to, anybody to take it, is say to, basically make something their own.
Yeah, or take
Yep.
yours and make it their own.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
So,
Exactly. So, well, hey, Prelo, I say, do you have anything else you would like for our guests to know? And what's the best way that they can contact you?
well, just go justonebuzz.com. Yeah.
Perfect.
So, just one buzz is the easy connect, and just one buzz .com will easily you see the information to connect with us. Um,
Perfect. Well, hey, everybody, check out the uh, check out onebuzz.com, and
just
see what the product is. You what?
just one buzz.
Just one buzz. Sorry, my bad. Just one buzz.
That's us.
But yeah, I say, well, I appreciate you being on, and I say I appreciate you taking the time. I say to kind of give a development. I mean, obviously I'm from manufacturing space, so are you with working at Milliken, and I thought, hey, say let's change it up, and to see what developing from manufacturing to developing a product. I mean, it's kind of the same thing that a lot of the manufacturing and automation side that I deal with. A lot of the listeners, they start from basically nothing, a floor, and they have this space, and they build it out to something else, a
Mhm,
machine that is producing auto parts, anything, medical,
mhm.
could be, you know, uh, EpiPens, just say, could be, common goods, a lot of different variety of, parts and manufacturing. So I always just look at it, hey, like, how does that process go? And, it sounds like you say over the, last 3, 4 years, you say it's been a tough process to,
Mhm,
transition and, see the part, or, see the product develop. But I mean, it sounds like it's at the finish line and you guys are starting manufacturing now. So no, I'm excited for
mhm.
it.
So, we're thanks for having me, and,
Yeah,
we're, looking forward to, connecting with, many small businesses in the upstate to make their life easier and
perfect.
prevent that loss of revenue because you can't answer the phone.
Sounds good.
Mm.
Well, hey everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm Jordan Dieterle, and this is Tech Talk with R&E Automated, signing off.